Greetings, friends. I received a lot of messages in the mail. Someone got an answer. And someone did not wait. They have already started writing why new videos are not being released. Some people think that the channel has been abandoned. That's not the point at all. I just don't have much time to shoot new videos for you, and for these reasons they rarely come out. So, we are starting. But remember the main rule of Aristotle: you can always reassure yourself that everything I tell you is just my sick fantasy. After all, I don't provide you with any evidence, and the channel can create any and upload different videos there to make money on it. But the paradox is that you will never know if I am a real insider or another imposter who wants to make money. The religion of Islam began to spread with incredible speed. You can start building bunkers, stock up on food, gas masks, and so on. Do you want me to tell you what is happening and how? Okay, I'll do it. Imagine two forces playing on a chessboard, one light, the other dark. And now, the light one is losing fast. When she completely loses, something terrible will begin. Have you by any chance ever thought that the religion of Islam is quite cruel? More like, well, you get it. Even if you look at a person who recently adopted this religion, who was an atheist and did not believe in all this nonsense, what has he become now? He became a completely different person. When you start communicating with him, you don't recognize him anymore. He has become more aggressive and is even ready to give away the most valuable things to please religion, saying to himself, it is the will of Allah. And now think about what will happen to this person when the prophet comes out. From this moment, the most interesting thing begins. When the prophet comes out from behind the scenes and says, my followers, we need to spread this all over the world. And if preachers used to spread this for years or even decades, now it will happen in a matter of days or even hours. Then the prophet will say it is necessary to destroy those who refuse to accept the faith. Naturally, everyone will listen to him. He is not a prophet for nothing. And then a new time will begin. All your clocks will reset. There will be no more before Christmas and after. A new first year will begin. History will be completely rewritten. A mass disposal of states that refuse to join the new Babylon will begin. When they get rid of these states, they will begin to get rid of all other religions. They will disappear from the face of this world. And even if someone remembers it all in 3 to 4 generations, everyone will forget it already. The ideas of the New World Order will be propagandized in schools and government structures, and anyone who expresses dissident opinions or remembers the past will be considered psychotic and a traitor. You will discover a new world under a single flag and the name of the board. There will be no separate states, there will be no presidents. Over time, the lifestyle, commitment to the new Babylon and its faith will become the defining features of humanity. The new first year will become a symbol of a new era. The old calendar with its religious holidays will become a thing of the past, and the world will experience a new round of history. Thus, the era of suppression, control, and homogeneity will come. People will be deprived of freedom of thought. Their minds will be controlled and manipulated by the authorities. Opportunities for critical thinking, research, and intellectual development will be limited. The new world, although it will represent unity and order, will be deprived of diversity, freedom, and individuality. At the same time, I don't tell anyone to give up their religion, and I don't put one religion above another. Christianity is also a kind of suppressed religion and was created to manipulate the masses. But Islam is a completely different story. It was created for a slightly different purpose. I can't tell you all the details, but you have already received some of the answers. It was a question from subscribers and holders of this faith. The next question will sound like this: when will it all start and how to avoid it? It will not begin until the forces I mentioned above finish playing this game, namely, until at least 80% of the world's population joins this religion. Then a prophet comes out from behind the scenes, which is already there now, just waiting for its release. And there is no way to avoid it, at least not in your power. You can only watch what is happening well and save your lives and your families by building a bunker in the backyard. The next question that arises for you, yes, I am Vanga, sounds like this: who pulls all the strings? Since every doll has its own puppeteer, from this moment, the most interesting part of the video begins. I'm going to assume that you've probably heard of the Knight Templar, despite the fact that this order was dissolved and disappeared millennia ago. This secret order and its actions are still noticed, but, of course, only those who can see. And not those who have been blind for a long time. The Templars never really disappeared. They just pretended to disappear, and the remnants of this secret order continue to pull the strings of society, coming out of the shadows even today. The Templars were associated with a huge number of myths and legends, starting with the Holy Grail and ending with the Ark of the Covenant and the foundation of Freemasonry. But no matter how exciting all these conspiracy theories are, this is one of those rare cases when all these are not myths but the truth. Let's start with the history of this order. According to the official history, the order originated in the 12th century. But today we will not start from the official history, not from Aristotle. The order was born in 04 BC in the same year Jesus was born. The order was born with only one purpose: to rewrite all the legends, the Bible, history, and destroy the ruling dynasty at that time. Of course, it was Tartary. You've probably already heard about it, but some say so, others in a different way. As a result, no one can decide on the history of Tartary. In fact, it was a dynasty that ruled the whole world under a single flag. There was a single culture, architecture all over the world, and only one world religion, Christianity. It was a kind of Babylon, you know. History is cyclical. Everything was constantly repeated, and will be repeated. The whole dynasty was ruled by one family, and the crown was inherited from father to son, and yes, for almost 2,000 years it ruled until the Templars broke it into thousands of parts. As I said above, in 04 BC the order was born. It took them 1,100 years to earn a huge reputation for themselves. They started from an incredibly humble beginning, and in an amazingly short period of time, the Templars turned into one of the most influential organizations in history. During their meteoric rise, the Templars achieved unimaginable wealth and possessed such power that even the kings of Tartarea are made to envy. The Templars began to take away the lands of Tartarea one by one, and they did it without a fight, since people themselves joined them. And already in 1241 Tartary completely fell, and that year the order was dissolved. Allegedly because of the fulfillment of their mission, they retired. But think about it. With such power, wealth, and success, can the order really dissolve? No, of course not. They went into the shadows. They created Masons, their faithful followers and disciples, like the 12 apostles of Jesus. But think about the shadow they're in right now. If information about the Masons somehow leaks to the general circles, then very little is heard about the Templars. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the first person you've heard the word Templar from. Then, as a rule, they introduce their followers, that is, Freemasons, into the circles of government. They erase all possible technologies that existed before, destroy buildings, and eventually flood all continents. The world has rolled back to the times of the Stone Age. This is the year 1700, a new era, a new time, a new calendar. The chronology is changing to Julian. The language is changing, new world religions are being added. All this meant that the forces I mentioned at the very beginning of the video had finished their game, and one of the sides had completely lost.